What you are observing here is me, currently 426 experience points away from level 100 for the first season of Lightfall. Whatever I do next will surely bring me over the edge of 10 million total experience on the pass, ensuring that I max out the whole card and receive all rewards. But what would be a good way to cross said finish line and finally reach level 100? I say a good way is specifically calculating the amount of experience for certain activities and applying my current XP buffs to them, then going to the terrestrial complex in the Cosmodrome, my chest puffed, my shoulders broad, a spring in my step, a glint in my eye, and with all the confidence in the world, I throw my fists forward and punch a cursed thrall. Why? Because I'm autistic. What is kickin' chickens? It's me, Cozy the Femboy Harbinger of Chaos, and it's time to speak about Luke Smith, the Scarab Lord's newest addition to our collective suffering. Destiny 2, Lightfall, an expansion once promised to be the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga that has defined the game's world, story, and aesthetics since its conception, but was instead not that. TM, but worry not, finality takes shape or whatever, and it seems everyone and their great uncle who died in the 1920s on the wrong side of history has something to say about it. Some say it's the worst expansion in Destiny history, which, just tell us that you haven't played an MMO before yesterday and we'll just get the same picture. But others say that it's unbelievably amazing, one of Bungie's best, which, You know what? Both of those groups of people are tone deaf, tasteless, late for school, and can't read a clock, all of them. The whole pack of them. But me, me? Let's talk about me a little bit. I can read a clock, and it's just about time for me to be correct and better than everyone else. So then, let's have some tea, partake in some exquisite Baroque tunes, and you listen to me have a chinwag about my thoughts, feelings, and sentiments on the Lightfall expansion thus far, and all of the wacky, whimsical stories and adventures that came alongside it. So strap yourself in, keep your arms, legs, and other appendages inside the vehicle at all costs, and remember, your safety is not my priority. Welcome to Lightfall. For all the morons, I just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by spoilers for Lightfall, so thanks in advance for liking the video, subscribing, commenting, and giving me money on my Patreon since you don't want to get spoiled. Alright, thanks. Now, let's get into it. Following the monumentally successful launch of Witch Queen that came with 2 kinda boring seasons and 2 kinda banger seasons, cool raids, and the best campaign to date to kick it all off, and then there's Duality, which we don't talk about. Bungie proved to us that they had this down. So, with the 4-season-long Witch Queen expansion proving we were in good hands and the marketing of Lightfall being so full of vibrant aesthetics, interesting locations, the promise of the Witness being a central antagonist, so on and so forth, it was looking to be even better than Witch Queen. You know what? So far, at least, and this is my correct and rather arrogant opinion, but I wholeheartedly believe that in many ways, it is. And in many ways, it really isn't. Now, before you click that dislike button, make sure you've done your biology homework, then reconsider and listen to me. You did click on my video, therefore you are a guest here. Sit down like a fucking pet and listen, cause I got some explaining to do. And that explaining starts with the story. Or rather the... Oh, wait, 1 second, I'm getting a call. Yeah. Yeah? Alright. Yes, I understand. Sorry. Oh, who was that? Well, I don't have time to tell you why I don't have time to tell you who that was that I was just talking to on the phone, but they're important. And, they're dead now. Aren't you sad? Aren't you so sad? What? What do you mean you're not sad? You didn't get to know anything about the subject matter, and now that that subject matter is the focus of the narrative of the video, and something happened to said subject matter that you know nothing about, you don't feel anything? What? No. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. I don't want to rant too much about something that's been talked about more than the Big Bang and my sexuality combined, but I will at least touch on it. The general plotline of the campaign of Lightfall is that you show up on the lost city of Space Atlantis known as Neomuna, a hyper-futuristic and gorgeous modern display of neon lights and skyscrapers that houses a secret entity known as the Veil. The Witness has tasked the nihilistic fat fuck Callus with securing the Veil, whatever that means, and so we are tasked by the protectors of Neomuna to stop Callus and his forces from getting to the Veil, whatever that means, so that we can get to it first. Whatever that means. If we don't, then something might happen. I don't know what, but they keep telling me to get to it, and they refuse to tell me why I should. Regardless, we eventually get to the Veil, and a huge battle breaks out in this big climax that takes place after a long questline of 8 missions revolving around the unlocking of the Strand subclass, which you'll be tasked with defeating Callus with when you get to the Veil. Callus just kind of stands there in this donut-shaped room, and then says,
"What? This guy, he tripped and fell in the back of McDonald's. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram for..."
Then he gets a minigun. So you kill him, as you do with people like that, which is then followed by the most breathtaking line in media to date.
The uglier they are, the harder they
Fuck.
Finality takes shape.
Afterwards, the ghost goes inside the Veil, I think, and the Witness is like, real shit? And then suddenly makes a triangle and goes into a portal, and then it's told to us, verbally mind you.
We just lost.
Because the writers knew the viewer would not be capable of discerning that from how vague and shit the writing was, so they have to tell it to us. I am starstruck. I still don't know what the Veil is. I don't know why it's important. I don't know what that pretty shape in the Traveler is. I don't know why we aren't just going through it if it's a portal. Huh? I don't know why I should care. Also, that Callus fight was a dick on night 1 solo legendary, but goddamn it's good. Albeit, it made me feel towards the Cabal, like how Elliot Rodger must have felt towards women at one point. What I'm trying to say is that it certainly got my blood pressure up, but all in all, it was quite good.
And the storm that is
So yeah, the story isn't all that in a bag of mountain mix, let me tell you that. It's like the first cutscene and last cutscene are the same exact cutscene, but they were just kinda cut in half in the middle of production and then had a random new thing called the Veil thrown in there to bridge the gap. But remember Destiny 1? I think it's on the same level as whatever that was. But one thing that Destiny 1's story had over this is that it was allowed to ask questions and be vague, because it was the beginning of the story, not, you know, the final fucking act of it. But I've learned from playing Destiny since before it even came out that if you subtract the story from the game and just play it... Dude, to preface what I'll say, like most people who don't suck at the game, I did the entire campaign on Legendary difficulty on Night 1 solo. There were no guides, no cheeses, or anything like that, and I didn't have anyone holding my hand like a little bitch. And let me just say this, the campaign gameplay-wise is way more fun than the Witch Queen campaign, just like how the Witch Queen campaign, story-wise, is way better than Lightfall. And it's not even a competition. Strand is hella wicked. It's unbelievably fun and actually quite powerful, at least for hunters. The environment and aesthetic of Neomuna is the best that the game has ever seen, maybe seconded to the Dreaming City. And the music was absolutely amazing at every single interval, but more on that later. Art and musical direction very rarely cease to impress anyone when it comes to Destiny. Though in the previous expansion, the aesthetic of the Throne World was sort of antonymous with Wicked, give or take a few instances or locations. The legendary missions of Witch Queen were definitely tight and pushed you to utilize certain weapons and builds that you would have never used to try and figure out how to beat certain bosses or encounters, but at the end of the day, it was just fighting the Hive in green and black settings.
How did they come up with this?
Though every now and again, Lucent Hive would appear, and they, much like Children on the Spectrum, were quite fun, creative, but also quite aggressive. In Lightfall, the only new enemies are Tormentors, and you know what? They got scythe, let's fucking go! They are scythe-wielding Gigachads who are terrifying and run at full speed, suck the life out of you, which is kinda gay, jump and flip around like Tanner Brongard off the vape. and do all sorts of other crazy crippling chaos. They are without a doubt the silliest and most flippant enemies that Bungie has ever created. But did you know that you can just, like, blind them? I just wish that they added new variants of tormentors other than the guys that we saw. I wish we saw Nezarek's little quirky dudes have more variety, just like how there was variety with the Lucent Hive. Anyway, the fact that there was only one type of tormentor really upset me, and is probably the only issue I had gameplay-wise with the campaign. Otherwise, it's so fun to go from rooftop to rooftop, using Strand, and role-playing as a mustard gas as you descend into trenches of unsuspecting soldiers, and then go one-on-one with these Grim Reapers in whimsical vaporwave settings that go from the Season of the Splicer funkiness to Times Square if it was actually time cubed in the 5th dimension. So yeah, I'm not a professional, but my subjective take is that the narrative is quite shit, and the gameplay is quite great, heavily thanks to the aesthetic of the setting, which just so happens to be Bungie does this really neat thing where they take fantasy tropes from myths and fiction and adjust them into space. They've done this time and time again in the past, with cowboy dungeons to castle ships, to a place literally called the Dreaming City. But none have been so obvious. A tear from mythology is the setting of Lightfall. A lost city was found on Neptune. Neptune, the blue planet that's named for the god of the seas, Neptune. It's a lost city on the god of the seas planet, the sea planet, ocean planet, lost city. It's a civilization. It's Atlantis. They did the Atlantis thing, but they did it in a rather radically sick way. You know how the last location they added was a projection of the goddess of Lie's mind, but it ended up just being a swamp with a cool castle in it, full of floral canker, blemished and decaying illusions, and hollowing chambers with a massive pyramid way off in the distance. But then there was like just fields and swamps and empty caves and shit, and it was like not really that fun to be in. And if you disagree with that, you can click the first link in the description to a Google image search for gold medals so you can print one out for yourself and wear it, since you're not like the other girls. I stated in my Witch Queen video that it felt dry, empty, and boring. The bounties, rep grind, and patrols felt like playing vanilla Gmod on my own for an hour at a time, while injecting heroin into my arm at a mime's funeral. In the rain. It didn't feel like the full magnitude that they could have gotten when it came to a projection of the mind of the goddess of lies herself. But Neomuna? This game really makes you feel like the Spider-Man. Across the map of Neomuna, full of pinks and greens and purples and oranges, there are little green balls dotting around the skies that you can grapple to with Strand and move around with ease. It's so addictive and fun to hook onto one of these bastards, fling yourself around, and try to do some crazy-ass sparrow trick or something. Movement across this stunning location is just downright fun, and the locations are not only beautiful and fun to move through, but full of cool shit to discover, including buildings that have fully made interiors, secrets sprawled out across skyscrapers, and so much more. Here is an example. Imagine wandering around a colorful metropolis, and you find a vent somewhere in a building along some diamond beaches. You bust it open, and go inside the guts of a decaying vaporwave mall, and end up in an arcade being invested with the Vex. They got goblins playing video games. No wonder they're so violent. They got hydras playing on the claw machines, and they may or may not, allegedly, have an interstellar portal that leads to an alternative realm outside of reality itself, because that's what arcades do, apparently. And this is a lost sector, remember. Can you name me one lost sector from the Throne World? Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't remember a single one. But this? Oh, yeah. I won't be forgetting this one. Also, the new strike, I fucking love it. Racing on the tracks as all the Taken shit is shot at you, battling out with the Vex on neon platforms and bright, flashy backdrops.
Oh lord, I'm about to bust.
But the final boss just being a Hydra is some patented Luke Smith trademarking right there. Season of the Splicer is objectively the best season of Destiny, and I miss it dearly. So seeing aspects from that season work their way into the makeup of not only the strike, but a big chunk of missions, quests, and weapons makes me extremely elated, though one strike for an expansion release is quite lame. About as lame as a snail with ALS in a wheelchair. I know that there's still 3 seasons left, so there's still time for them to add other ones, but come on. One strike on release? Nah, come on, man. But you gotta admit, while the world is full of interesting collectibles, sights, events, and characters, it feels oddly barren. But that is a symptom of it being an MMORPG above all else, I would think. The lore reason for this is because everyone who lives in Neomuna apparently uploaded their minds to the metaverse or some shit, and now the Cloud Striders have to protect the city because the city is literally the people or something like that, and that's like, alright, fine. But with a huge lack of NPCs, it just feels quite empty, which is ironic for a place named for the word that means overabundance. But what does help is seeing Cabal ships flying around, seeing hundreds of enemies patrolling this open war zone of a city, hearing newscasts play over speakers about what's going on, and seeing players partaking in the event and exploration of the zone. You can tell that Bungie tried to make it feel not so empty, but by design, every zone that Bungie creates will feel barren. And while all the free thinkers have a hate boner for this place for reasons, I can say with my whole chest that subjectively this place is idiosyncratic with radical, and the best zone ever added to Destiny. Only seconded, in my opinion, by the Dreaming City, which just saying has NPCs, by the way, including Marasov. And speaking of Marasov... Season 20, yes, I said 20, we are getting old, is the first of 4 seasons that will make up the Lightfall expansion. And like most starter seasons, not you, it came with a bang. The new Defiant battlegrounds are actually fun. The return to the farm was unexpected and quite interesting. Devram is marksman. Get it? Cause the snipe. If you shoot me with a tank, I won't die. Anyways, serving Marasov is always fun. The story is quite explosive. The change in difficulty in strikes and vanguard operations are a much needed refresher. Guardian ranks and commendations are interesting. And the exotic quest for Vexcalibur is one of the best quests Bungie has ever created. You gotta go to Europe and find 6 hidden Vex orbs within a 30-second time frame that resets every time you find one. Then head to a cave beneath this massive vagina that opens up in the sky. And once you get there, and you're beneath the earth, you're able to speak with a friendly little harpy and start the quest, which plunges you into the Vex network, right back in this season of the Splicer, as you're guided by the holographic ghost of Ashramir, my personal favorite character who went too soon. Doing this quest right when it came out was riveting, and seeing all the sights and references, like the strike where Asher had lost his arm being the final encounter, the season of the Splicer mode depositing sequences, the part where you had to take cover, the puzzle solving, the parkour, so on and so forth, it felt like a dungeon, and it's an exotic quest for God's sake. Safe to say, I loved every second of it, and this quest alone cements this as one of my favorite seasons in Destiny so far.
Oh, I found him! I found him! I found him! Square, square. Rhombus, square, square. Protect me.
I got you, feller.
Immune my dick. Wait, who shot?
I was right. It spawned right in front of me. That was shooting the heartbeat. That was not my fault.
It's not. I saw it. I saw it. Portal.
There's one tiny little.
I swear it's on the next. Oh no, it's on the next one now. Okay, yeah. Now we just fucking tank and spank him. Tank and spank him.
I'm going in. Ooh, with those bonus crits. Holy.
I have nothing left. No ammo. No nothing.
Oh, all these.
Where's Reed?
Take a picture.
Oh my god!
Alright, wait, don't pick this up. There we go, got it.
I have no ammo.
I don't either. I have nothing.
I got
I'm
ammo
gonna
still,
run away.
don't worry, I got a lot of ammo. I'm popping their shields, I'm popping it.
Popping
Alright,
this pinata's
going in.
pussy.
Alright, I'm reloading.
Trying my best to help with Trinity Ghoul.
I'm almost
Alright,
dead.
there we go.
We throw
Oh,
that.
this guy needs to turn a little bit. Oh, it doesn't matter, he's gonna die.
He's gonna die. He's gonna. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yes, dude.
Nice.
Oh,
This was like the coolest fucking thing that they've added in a long, long time. Now let's draw it.
that's tweet worthy.
Also, the glaive itself, Vexcalibur, aside from having one of the wittiest names imaginable, it is so good that I'll actually switch out for Trinity Ghoul sometimes to use it. But I mean, look at it. This shit is rad. Also, PvPing my friends with it is fun as hell. Only use the glaive like melee ability. I think that's like fun.
No.
Wait, I got a better idea.
Yo.
You guys want to play? Do you guys want to do this?
Alright, you trolling.
God damn, eat your food!
I remember my ball.
I know, I could tell. I just heard a loud fucking.
My goodness.
Oh.
His lag is like an overshield altogether.
Yeah, my leg is like.
Oh, I'm surrounded.
Oh my god!
His lag is a fucking overshield. That's so funny. Where you at, Akuma? Oh, is that you? That you?
Over here, I'm on go.
I'm on, go! Fuck!
Oh!
You're on, go. That was a murder. That was a fucking
Okay.
murder.
Well, fuck you.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, I'm about to fuck shit up though.
What the fuck? Oh shit.
Oh.
We're not friends anymore.
Yo, you got fucked up! I went right behind you, I just fucked your ass up!
To regret, sorry.
Oh, Reed's overshield just fucked me up.
I shot him with
Shot.
the glaive. It still counts. It's still the glaive.
No.
Fuck you.
Alright, fine, but no shooting, man.
We died. Oh fuck, I could tell.
Shut up. This isn't a hotel.
What?
I have no health, no health.
No fucking shot.
Did you just pop?
Bastard.
That was cool.
Come on.
I didn't know you were dead, so I just kept fucking shooting.
Why did you do that?
Or attacking, I mean. Still haven't shot. I didn't know you were dead, so I just kept fucking slashing.
Oh, rip, 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 rip.
Oh, fucked. Absolutely bum rushed. Ruined.
I like how it's just two scores. Like someone just doesn't appear to me.
Damn it. Oh my god.
I hear shooting. Am I bugging?
Reed's invincible, I swear to god. You wouldn't die.
Explain.
He looked on me.
Quit your gaming. No more gaming in my house.
I was cooking though.
We're gonna cook? We're gonna cook?
Oh fuck.
Nope.
Oh, let me cook.
burn.
I said let me cook.
That's revenge.
Let me
Wait, no.
cook. That's revenge, motherfucker. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Holy shit! I'm surrounded, gentlemen.
Ow! Keep fucking shooting me.
He's shooting.
Get back here!
Ah, he has a shield too. Fuck.
No!
Jesus Christ.
You stole my
I somehow
shield.
got him. I don't know how.
Oh! Good.
Where everyone at? Where's the party at?
Zoink. Zoink.
Reed, show yourself, goddammit.
Oh, he's coming
What the
back.
hell are you over there?
Like, get back here, man.
Where you at?
Hey!
Hey! Get back here! Hey, get back here! Ah!
I'm in menu.
I'm sorry, it was the final kill, so I did it. There I am! So yeah, the season is quite fun with friends. Something else that's rather fun with friends is abusing the Guardian rank systems. Oh yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. You know how in Final Fantasy XIV you can give one, that's only one, commendation to any player who is in the party with you at the end of a raid, trial, dungeon, or other activity? Well, Bungie saw that and was like, huh, we should take that and turn it into a progression system and then see what happens. So they introduced a new system in which, at the end of each activity, you can give cards to different players that demonstrate certain traits, but all mean nothing and are kind of homogenized because people just kind of throw these out like candy without reading or thinking about it. These commendations raise your commendation number, which is directly linked to the new Guardian rank system, where a player completes a set of tasks and grueling achievements to rank up their account to flex and show that you mean business. These achievements include doing certain raids, collecting items, socializing, grinding, prostitution, etc. But the biggest grievance among anyone who has partaken in these grinds has to be with the new introduction of this relatively interesting system of player commendations, as you need hundreds of thousands to reach the max rank. And so, like silly little losers in their silly little game, we got to work and found a silly little exploit. Going to the wish wall in Last Wish and putting in Petra's wish, then wiping the party, tricked the game into thinking that you had finished the Last Wish raid, and thus opened the player commendation screen. This means if you had someone who knew what they were doing, like me, you could farm thousands of player commendations in minutes, where it would usually take hundreds of hours, and you already know what the fuck is up. When this was still low-key, I caught word of it on a Twitter post with 2 likes, and instantly grabbed my friends to farm this out. I just love the concept of, like, there's Akuma's, there's mine, it's like, yeah, there's like a good chunk of, like, things within there, and then just fucking reads, and it's a goddamn lightsaber. It's like,
Literally blue.
it's just blue.
What can I say? It's not good.
You gave him 22 knowledgeable. That's 4% fun, 5% mastery, 6% ally, 86% leadership.
It's like, who's handling this out, man?
We don't have time for fun. We gotta focus. We have to focus.
We need to focus now! Eventually, Bungie nerfed the amount of commendations needed for each rank, and then patched out the ability to cheese the wish wall for commendations. Aw, man. I guess now I actually have to partake and play the game, and complete a raid to get commendations. Speaking of that, I wonder if the new raid is any good. Maybe I should go do that.
Root of Nightmares is actually quite easy, but it's also quite pretty. It's everything that a Destiny raid should be. And now that players have a ton of perks and buffs and builds, stuff like that just isn't as hard as it used to be, period. But the contest mode, which is supposed to be the hardest challenge in the entire game, 100% was not tuned correctly. The raid after day 1 though, I think it's perfectly fine. The only hard part is running around the damn place and using the launchers, but I digress. All in all, Root of Nightmares is really hella cool and I dig it a lot, mostly due to its aesthetic and armor sets. Also, I kinda like the simplicity mixed with the scale of the raid, as the raid brought alongside the Strand subclass opens up opportunities for speedruns and goofy antics to take place, and I'm all for that. I just hope the master difficulty proves to be a bit more challenging than the normal version and the contest mode were, in terms of like, health bars and stuff, but next to that, it's really nifty. The planet room from the witness reveal being an encounter was by far my favorite part of the entire raid, and using a political compass to place people on their respective platforms to move planets around and create a perfect equilibrium so you can have damage phases seemed to be the key. Nezarec as a final boss was also pretty goddamn wicked, albeit a bit underwhelming both in design and in execution. You'd think since he's the final god of pain, he'd, not be just a tormentor who gets stuck on every single wall in his own arena, but I digress. I still like the final boss a lot, and I'm really happy he, at the very least, had a scythe. I just wish they stuck with the original design of him, as it's way cooler and way more interesting. All in all, Nezarec, the final god of pain, was quite easy for me to murder. Then again, I'm used to killing gods. All I'm saying is that Jesus has a worse KD than me. Therefore, I must be better. And remember, it's not a complex if you're actually God. And it's simple as that. Also, I got the exotic bow to drop from Spire of the Watcher 2 times in the same week. One on my Hunter and one on my Warlock. If that doesn't prove to you that I'm a god, then I don't know what does. Anyways, this just furthered my reassurance of my stature of Final God of Chaos. And for that, this raid gains an S+. Also, it made everyone really mad, and continues to do so. So that also makes me speak very highly of it, because I like to make people mad. A perfect raid to release with Lightfall. Not the best by any standard, but definitely not the worst. Simple, a bit underwhelming, and all in all, a chill, beautiful, and pretty fun raid to do with friends on a Saturday night. Very cool, very swag, I like it.
Here's my conclusion. All in all, Lightfall was disappointing in a lot of avenues, that being the story and lack of new strikes, PvP maps, or anything else in that whole field. But it's made up by its new additions and quality of life features, loadouts, guardian ranks, Season 20, Neomuna, quests, Strand, reworked strikes and difficulty, and a wicked aesthetic that keeps me smiling ear to ear like a narcissist on their birthday, ready to tell everyone all about it. Though I can't say that I would recommend Destiny to a new player right now, as it isn't polished, it's quite confusing at times, and if we're being real, it's a bit all over the place right now. Definitely not the best expansion ever, but certainly wholeheartedly 110% not the worst by a long shot, like everyone's trying to say that it is. Not quite 71 base, but pretty damn close in my book. And that is my final shape. Alright, thank you in advance for commenting and liking the video, and also thank you for watching.
You fucking slut.
Okay, bye!
What? This guy, he tripped and fell in the back of McDonald's.